music, but I'm not really sure.
Yeah, you do.
Ah. I like it when you whisper like that to me, Leo.
Hey, you dorks, this is Gunnar Hansen, Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and you are listening to The Dorkening.
Hi, I'm Brian Johnson, and although you probably accidentally stumbled across it and have no idea why you're watching it, you are in fact watching The Dorkening.
Hello, this is Tom Kenny, voice actor, the voice of the Ice King on Adventure Time, and SpongeBob SquarePants. Meow. Oh, Gary the Snail, too. Hey, guess what you're filling your eye holes and ear holes with? The Dorkening! Oh, I love the Dorkening. Very popular in Ooh. And Bikini Bottom.
Hi, I'm Lou Ferrigno. You're watching The Dorkening. And you know what? You don't like me when I get angry, so don't get me angry. You better keep watching The Dorkening.
Hey guys, this is Felissa Rose, and you're watching The Dorkening.
Hey guys, it's Courtney Palm. We're shooting Death House, and you're watching The Dorkening.
This is Anthony Michael Hall, and you're watching The Dorkening. Stay tuned, my friends are going to show you what entertainment's all about, baby.
The Dorkening.
The Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Rise and shine, my sinners. When Father Evil starts his day, he gets a little deadly. Deadly Grounds coffee has the richest, smoothest flavor you'll find anywhere. It's sinfully delicious. Once you go deadly, you never go back. Order yours at getdeadly.com. Coffee's so good, it's scary.
Hey, welcome to Creator Spotlight, powered by the Dorkening Podcast Network. My name is Leo. I'm the monkey behind the keyboard here. We got a bunch of people watching, so you must be interested in learning more about creating your own comics and, what it is to be your own publisher. Our guest tonight is awesome. I can't wait to get into it. But as always, Jar Jar, how's it going, bud?
It's me. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us. And thank you, Leo, for having me and asking me again. And, well, actually, I kind of twisted your arm. But still, thank you.
Hey, always glad to have you, my friend.
I can never get my picture right. God damn, it's like everything's left to the right. There it is. All right. I think I got it. Damn glare. All right. I'm going bald too. All right. Anyways, tonight we are hanging out with the one, the only. I'd like you all to meet. I already introduced him to Leo a few minutes ago. You guys missed that. But this is Brett Swanson of Power Kid Comics.
Thank you, guys.
Hey,
welcome.
Thank you.
Or
Thank
I
you.
should say, I'm glad to be here.
Oh, we're glad to have you. We ran into you at Sarge's Comics for Free Comic Book Day, and we love your art. So we definitely, we wanted to get you on the show, talk to you more about your art and Power Kid Comics and Sick Puppy Studios. Is it?
Sick Puppy Studios is the actual name of my business, but I'm kind of rebranding a little bit. But I am going under Power Kid Comics as well. Yeah.
All right, Sick Puppy, like
Sick Puppy Studios, yes.
Like I'm guessing you were sitting there and your dog was getting sick right next to you.
It's a funny story. Many years ago, when I was trying to come up with a name for my art stuff, I couldn't come up with something cool. And at that time, this was in like the mid to early 2000s. I had 3 dogs at that time, and you know how dogs are. Dogs eat things; they're gross.
Yeah, I'm watching.
And they're cool. Dog. They're cool too, but. So I was like, wow, you're one sick puppy. And that name kind of stuck, So right about in 2005, when I started launching my business, I came up with Sick Puppy Studios. And the logo is my dog, Bart. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I love dogs. I've had tons of dogs in my lifetime. I currently have 2 now. And I thought that'd be a great name for the art stuff, Sick Puppy Studios, because when I do shows, a lot of people go, I love that name, because it's just one of those names you don't forget.
And you're rebranding, though, so you're getting
rebranding under my comics, kind of. So I'm going under Power Kid Comics a lot these days.
Gotcha.
In addition to comic work, I also paint. I do a lot of abstract paintings. So when I do the outdoor festivals and stuff like that, I go under Sick Puppy Studios. But I'm kind of gearing towards Power Kid Comics when I do the cons.
Here's an idea, maybe a Sick Puppy comic, so therefore we can keep the name alive and
Absolutely. I do have dogs in my books. I tend to make characters out of my dogs, so from time to time you'll see Impossible Beagle and Muttley, which was 2 of my dogs at that time, and I have other dogs too. So always trying to keep my books fun. And so what you're seeing there is a bunch of the first 4 issues. I actually started the book series 316, and what happened was when I first started doing these books for kids, I really wasn't sure where it was going. So I just kind of made up a random number to make you think the book's been around a long time. And then after the 3rd or 4th issue, you're like, wow, there's 300 books in this. This has just got to be great,
How am I going to start from
Exactly. So then by book 3 and 4, when the series started to do really well, it was too late for me to start over with number 1. So I just went upward. So now I just sent off to the printer. It'll be ready next month. I'm doing book number 328.
Now, hold on. Marvel and DC and everybody else starts from number 1 every 3 months.
This is true.
I think we can do this, Brett.
I want to be different. You know what I mean?
It'd be kind of funny to go from 1 to 360 or 315 now,
and then I could start over again, right?
Yeah, go back to the legacy numbering.
I could do the legacy numbering, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Or what you could do is just make a whole mess of random covers and just say like the past issues are really hard to get, almost impossible to find.
Right. In one of the first books, I made a joke. It was like 316 or something, and I made a joke about you have to get issue 296 or something because it was a special book, which of course does not exist.
Yeah.
So yeah, so now I'm wondering if I have folks going out there going, "Where is this book?" I can't find it. So yeah, I've been having fun with it. And I do other books too. So what you're seeing right now is some other stuff that I've done besides Power Kid. I do Steel Dragon and U.S. Mail and Little Max, and then the Sentinel too. Yeah,
Do you publish these all yourself,
I
or
do.
do
I
you
do.
do you go through any Kickstarters or anything?
I do not. Nope. I
Really?
pay for it myself. Sometimes it's tough, but I've never
Yeah.
asked anyone for any money. I'm the writer, artist, inker,
Well,
colorer,
you'll be at Terrificon.
self-publisher, self-promoter. I do it all. Yeah, and I will be at Terrificon. Yes.
That's one of my favorite cons.
Me too. Me
Love
too.
that place.
Yep.
Mitch he puts on a great con.
I've been there since the beginning when it was Connecticut Comic Con.
Yep,
Way
same
back
here.
when. Yep.
Same.
Yep.
I
When it
got
was
in trouble for using that name.
Yes, because there was a Connecticon too. Yeah.
Yep.
So there was some confusion there, but when it was a one-day show in Trumbull. Yep. Many moons ago.
Actually,
So
that's how I first met George Perez. Was his original con over there in Trumbull and stuff. And
Yep. Me too. Yes.
Wow.
I've actually gotten to meet George a few times, and he was just awesome. Awesome guy.
that was my one opportunity, and I blew it. I blew it. Yeah, one shot, and yeah, I actually did get to see him again at Boston or something like that, but I didn't know that you had to stand in line for a ticket to get his signature, and I was like the last person in line, and I went up, and I don't know who was his handler at the time, but they asked me if I had a ticket. I was like, oh
wow.
no, and they were just like, oh, I'm sorry. I was like,
Oh, and you were the
but
last one too. Come on.
yeah. I understand. The dude was signing all day and probably had commissions to do and stuff
Yeah.
at the time.
Yeah.
But
you also gave him directions too.
well,
right?
yeah, I get that's what happened in Trumbull. He asked me for directions to the Civic Center, and pointed out to him, and then I turned to him and I'm like, aren't you George Perez? And he smiled and shook his head no. Walked away. And then I saw him and like nobody wears that shirt. Like I knew it was him, and I wasn't gonna bother him, but like it was pretty cool, George
He was a
Perez
cool guy.
snubbed me.
Yeah. Yep. I've met him a few times. Yeah, he was great.
So
I
back
was
to
just
Power Kid.
yeah, I
Oh,
was just
sorry.
gonna say real quick. I see you're at MOF also.
What's
Mystic
Mo?
Outdoor Art Festival. Yep, I do that too. Like I said before, I also do acrylics. I do abstracts. I will have my comics there as well, but I also like to dabble in abstract paintings. So if you're in the area, swing on by. That's downtown Mystic, where they have the tents out, and I'll be right near the flag pole by the drawbridge. And
For
I've been
those
doing
in
that
the
show for a
know,
long time.
for those in the know, it's called MOF, huh,
It's called
Leo?
MOF.
Yeah.
Yep.
MOF.
Well,
And I'll also be at Wickford, which is kind of the same deal, but that's in Wickford, Rhode Island. And
Shouldn't that
last
be
year
Wolf?
they moved it into the park because of COVID, and I guess it went so well that they're going to keep it in the park again. So for those that want to come out to that, it won't be downtown Wickford, but it'll be over in the park.
Is it a nice kind of like shaded area?
It's like an open soccer field, so not really. No. I remember last summer it was so hot, so hot.
Yeah, debatable on that one. Like the burning, the
Yeah.
fire.
But I'll be in my tent, so hopefully I get a little bit of shade.
As you can see, me and Leo here are quite gingery, and yeah,
burst into flames.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
So Wickford Art Festival is July 9th through the 10th.
That's correct.
And
hold on, and then we've already got the New England Christmas Festival set up.
There's a New England crust. Yeah. What happened was last year when I was at the Mystic Show, somebody
People
came
all
around
said
and
that.
bought one of my books, and they
They
liked
like
it so much they invited me to do the Christmas show last year, and I didn't know what that was. So I did a little research, and I guess there was a big Christmas show in Boston for the longest time, but then for whatever reason that I'm not sure of, they moved it to the casino. And so I did that, and it's basically like you can get original gifts, you know what I mean? Like folks that cook and folks that make their own stuff. And so they saw my own comic books and were so impressed that I actually make them myself that they invited me to do it. And it was a really good show.
That's cool.
So I'll be there again, and that's right at the Expo Center, the same place as Terrificon.
I think we just beat Costco out on talking about Christmas before anybody.
Yeah, there we go. And here's a little hint for everybody: do not, under any circumstance, eat the gingerbread house at Mohegan Sun. They make a life-size gingerbread house every year. I used to work there.
That's
and,
real glue.
You won't believe people take chunks off of it, but
I believe it.
Imagine how many people walk by it. It's life-size, so you're putting your hands all over it. And,
Yeah.
It's nasty.
Oh, very nasty.
That ain't right. That ain't right.
That is not right at all.
COVID people.
It looks nice. But yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to do.
Right. You're not supposed to eat it. No.
It's like a bunch of 3-year-olds running around. No, don't touch that.
Yep.
Well, it's a casino. There's a bunch of drunk people running around.
Oh, that's true.
I remember walking into work one day and I saw this guy. All he's wearing is boxers, a leather jacket, and a cowboy hat. And
okay,
not in New York City, huh?
And his girlfriend's in pajamas. They're just walking straight through the casino like nothing's wrong, just
people of Walmart.
Yep. People of the casino. Yes.
Yeah. I'll run through those pictures again.
Yeah, sure. Yep.
Yeah, totally. So what drew you to
Oh, that's punny.
To make your own comic?
Well, at a young age, I was always intrigued by comic books, and at that time, Batman was on TV, the Hulk, Spider-Man, Wonder Woman, all of that stuff, and I was so into it. And then I remember as a young kid going to a convenience store, and back in the old days when they had the spinny racks, and I remember just being mesmerized by these books, and I was like, what are they? I have to check them out. And I was hooked from that day, and I knew that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to make my own comic books. I wanted to make my own characters. If somebody wanted, like if Marvel or DC wanted to pay me, that's cool too. I would do it. But I've always had this drive to make my own characters. So that's what I've been doing my entire life. As a young kid, I would draw my own comic books. I have boxes full. And, I looked at them from time to time, and, I cringe now because the artwork is not so good, but the ideas were there. And over the years, I began to hone my skills. And I went to the Joe Kubert School in 1988.
Oh, nice.
And I'm a graduate from 91. And I got to meet some of the great artists that I admired when I was a kid. And I got to actually be taught by some, including Joe. And I was always a fan of Joe's work. And we had some other guests that came in from time to time. One of my favorites first year was Kurt Swan dropped in.
Nice.
And of course, everybody knows Kurt Swan. He was the pinnacle artist of a Superman. So, I mean, you could not like this guy. And he was so gracious, and he just talked to us for hours, and he showed us how he actually drew and stuff like that. And over the years, we've had so many other artists, and I got to learn so much, So now what I do is, now that, I'm older now and I'm on my own, I'm actually making my own comic books. And I've actually gone to some schools in the past, but things got shut down due to COVID, but they're starting to open up again, where I was going to schools and I was actually teaching kids how to make their own comic books using the same rules and stuff that I learned from the masters, So this is all old school stuff, it's all done by hand, not on computer, you know what I mean? So I've just been a fan of comics in general, and I still am. And I like to just make my own comic books.
Wow. I was going to ask about that, because when we were talking previously, you're talking about scanning in your art.
Mm-hmm.
And so with technology as it is right now, a lot of people are using like tablets and Wacom tablets and stuff like that. Have you thought about making a transition to that, or
I've thought of it, but A, it's expensive.
Yeah, it
B,
is.
I just like doing it by hand, you know. I'm old school. I still have pads of paper and rulers and inks and brushes, and I pretty much just do it the old way that I was taught, you know. I even color it the same way with dyes. So I actually use watercolor dyes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and so I have like tons of dyes out there with my brushes, and I'm coloring each page up and stuff like that. So yeah, I've thought about it though, and eventually I might try to do something like that if it'll save time. But like I'm so old school, I prefer just drawing it.
How long does it take you to usually put like an issue together?
Well, I have a day job too, so I got to
Yeah,
balance
yeah,
my
obvious.
artwork. But it would probably take me a couple months, and any free time that I have, my days off, weekends, it'd probably take me a couple months from start to finish. With that being like, I would sketch it out and have an idea going, and then I'll lay it out and put in the dialogue, and then I'll ink it, and then I'll scan it again, and then I'll color it. So it will take me anywhere from like maybe 4 to 6 months, depending on how much free time I actually have. Some years in the past, I was able to squeak out 2 books, but most years it's only 1 book. But I have been known to make 2 from time to time, if there's enough time.
Now,
Most of my books are in color, but the Sentinel book that you saw before, that's in black and white. The long awaited issue 2, which I still have planned, it's all sketched out. I just haven't had time to do it. I want to do that, and then I'm going to put those 2 books together and color it and put it into a trade book,
oh, nice.
and then add some of my acrylics because I've done acrylics with that book too. So I want to throw that all together, but hopefully maybe next year.
Very cool.
Do
I'm
you
still
keep it?
working on a couple books now. Yeah.
Do you keep it mainly for kids? Everything?
Most of my books are for kids. Yeah, yeah. When I first started this, late 80s, early 90s, I was doing everything else but kid books. So in like the late 90s, I was like, well, why don't I try this? Because I remember going to some art shows and seeing how bored the kids were because there was nothing for kids.
Yeah.
And if you ever go to these art like shows, there's tents full of artwork and kids aren't really into it. You know what I mean? So I said, well, why don't I make a comic book? And at least that way there'll be something for the kids. And so that's kind of how that whole series started for kids. And it took off. A lot of kids liked it and they kept coming back for the next issue and the next one. And, I have fans of kids of all ages. I have like grown-ups still coming back and getting the
Nice.
next book. So, yeah. And, what's really cool about the Christmas show, too, is that, the grandmas come and they love the idea of comic
Hell
books for
yeah.
their own kids, for their
Yep.
grandkids. So like I've had some folks come and buy the entire set. So which was cool to me. My wife actually said it to me last Christmas morning, was like, she goes, Brett, just think, a lot of kids are waking up for your books as gifts. And I was like, wow, that's so cool.
That really is.
So I mean, of
that
all
is
of all of the books that are out there, you're buying mine. That's awesome.
hell yeah.
And I always like to keep it fun, keep it very positive, very interactive for the
Is
kids,
it
because there's a lot of books out there that are just really not for kids.
yeah, is the story continuous? Is like or does
There's
it
themes
separate
in there
story?
that continue, but they're their own stories. But in the later issues, the main character, like that one, the Power Pals,
Yep.
that was a germ I started planting a few issues before this, where the main character, Johnny Brooks, aka Power Kid, wants to form his own team, kind of like a junior Justice League. So I decided to call it the Power Pals. So
Cool.
at the end of the last couple issues, you'll see where he's like asking some of his powered friends if they want to join his team, and then that is the book where you see who actually says yes. So it's kind of like a junior Justice League kind of book.
Where are you located? I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm located in Stonington, Connecticut.
Oh, are you hitting up what one is that Keith puts on? Up in, I think it's not Pittsfield. Framingham?
Not familiar.
No. Paper City, I want to call it.
Oh, I've heard of something like that. No, I'm not doing that one. No.
It's a pretty good
heard.
local kind of like indie con. Like a lot of indie people set up there and stuff. But
Yeah,
I
I've done
don't even know
other.
if I'm saying the right name. I'm like really off my mind is like kind of in
I've
3
heard of
different
something like
areas.
that. I've done a bunch of indie shows in the past.
Do you
Some
know
in
who I'm talking about, Leo? Keith, he's
Keith
bald guy.
Keith Gleason.
Yeah, Gleason. He runs
I
it.
do know him.
Him
Yeah,
and his
yeah.
wife, Amy Kutka or
Okay.
Kutka.
I've done a
Yeah.
couple shows with Keith before,
Oh
including
yeah.
Terrificon. I used to do a show called Bing Con. Are you
Oh yep,
familiar with
yep.
that one?
Ben Comic
Yeah.
Con with Mark Matzell and all
Yes.
that. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Okay.
I've done that for a long, long time. Yeah. I've done a couple shows with these guys, and I've done some other indie shows, but currently all that you saw that was on that list are the shows that I'm doing for the rest of the year. But that doesn't mean I may not. I mean, I might look it up next time. You know what I mean?
Mm. Oh yeah,
Yeah, I
definitely.
definitely want to add some more shows to my list in the next year or two. I've already done 3 shows this year. One of
You
them
sound
was
a little under the weather right now. What are you
oh, it's my
fighting?
allergies,
Ah,
my sinuses.
fighting
Yeah,
the pollen.
yeah. Everything's blooming here. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And my wife says planting everything. So
Awesome.
it's all good though. It's all good. But I just did a couple shows. I did Free Comic Book Day where I actually met you guys. And then I did my brother Otto from Three Men in a Basement.
Yep,
He did a
yep.
comic swap the following week. That was
Oh
in
nice.
Newington. So I did that. And then the week after that, I did Kid Con up in New
Oh,
Hampshire.
with Amy and
Amy. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, was it Amy?
I think maybe I'm wrong. I think she does the one up in New Hampshire, her and
Maybe
her husband.
Allison? It's yeah, I think it starts
Oh,
with an
maybe
A.
it's
Yeah.
Allie. Maybe it is
Yeah.
Allison.
I just did that one too, so that was fun. Yep. And
I'm horrible with names tonight. Oh.
that was the first time I've ever done that show, so that was fun. And then I'm getting ready for the other shows that you saw on the list, including Terrificon, which is one of my favorites.
Yeah, I love going there.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
such that
Yep.
just
And I
starts
think
so
it's
well.
great too, like, you can go there and not only meet artists like myself, who actually make their own books, but you can also meet real established artists. And not to say that I'm not real, nor am I not established, but you can meet the famous artists and you can meet actors and stuff like that, wrestlers. So I mean, it's always fun.
I like that it's mainly driven towards comics. So like
Yeah,
it
me too.
feels
Me
more.
too.
I mean, everything's now a pop con, but
Yeah.
they still
I used
keep
to do
kind of
the
a focus on comics.
I used to do Rhode Island for many,
Yeah,
many years, but it's become less about comics. So
yeah,
I kind of stopped doing that because people weren't looking at my stuff. They were too busy
yeah.
trying to
They're
get
there for
autographs and
Gal
stuff.
Gadot and whoever
Yeah.
else, and
So
good, like great on that, but not my
absolutely.
kind of con.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I first started a few years ago doing that, it was great. I mean, it was all about comics, but over the years it got less and less about comic books.
Yeah.
So but I'm sticking to the ones that are about comics because I love comics, and like I said before, I just always wanted to make my own. And if I could tell any stories that I can, and people want to buy it and read it, that's awesome.
Little Giants is another good one up in New Hampshire.
I
You
heard
should
about
check
that
out.
one.
That one is
Yeah.
Jason Brodnick puts on that one. He's a good friend and like
I have
really
heard of
good
that one.
show.
I might
You're
look
like,
up that one. Yeah.
Just real quick about Terrificon, and we just love Mitch's show. It is definitely comic based. But special announcement, Jeremy, we're gonna be there. We're
yeah,
gonna have a booth.
Awesome.
I bought the booth this week, and yeah, going
that's
there
supposed to be
for
my vacation. My girlfriend's gonna get mad.
Well, that's a great place to spend your vacation, right?
Well, yeah, it's our first vacation since COVID began. So like we're
Uh,
going on a little. It was supposed to be a weekend getaway and like hit the con, and now it's a working vacation, I guess. Hi, Leo.
Well,
I'll tell her you
you can
told me.
enjoy the con.
Oh
There'll
yeah,
be enough of us there.
I
know,
know. I'm just giving you a little.
So you mentioned you collect comics as well. What
I
what
do.
are some of your favorite titles?
As a young kid, I was always into the team book. So Justice League, Avengers, Fantastic Four, X-Men, Doom Patrol, the old stuff, I was always into that. And I was also pretty much into everything. One of my favorite comics growing up was ROM, Space Knight.
Oh no kidding.
The Micronauts were big. Moon Knight, of course. I was really into that. I still am. The Shogun Warriors, Godzilla, all that stuff. I'm so into comics. I've recently been buying up a whole bunch of Action Comics, so I'm trying to complete my run. I just bought a whole bunch, like old stuff. Yeah. So
If you need anything from the 90s and 80s, I might be able to help you.
I have a lot of that. Yep. But I'm like going
giving
towards
away
50s.
or trading.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Well, if there's anything I'm missing, I'll let you know.
Yeah. I'm
but I
big into treasuries.
The treasuries were fun too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love them.
Yep. I love those. And like I'm old toys when we were kids. Star Wars, Micronauts, Migos were like awesome. So I'm into that too. So I'm always doing that stuff. I have a whole room. It's just nothing but comic books. My wife makes jokes on it, but I'm like, hey, it's
hey, at least you have a room.
It's my fortress of solitude. You know what I mean?
I got a little hovel in the basement until all the kids are gone.
Yeah. Like I said, always been into comic books. Yeah.
I was going to say, my wife comes in here and she says, everybody's staring at you. It's like, because I have all like the figures and stuff behind
all the cool stuff in the back. Yeah.
I've been recently, as we grow up, I gave away a lot of my toys when I was a kid, and so I've been trying to recollect some of the stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Got back into some of the Transformers, but only the ones I had when I was a kid, and as Jar Jar knows, I started collecting like old Atari games and stuff like that.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool stuff.
I just read something about like all those old games are worth a lot now. That's crazy.
They're getting crazy. Like anything collectible right now.
Yeah.
Like this whole world has gone crazy over. It's kind of difficult at times. It's like, hold on.
I remember playing those games, and I'm like, wow, it's really worth that? Really?
Yeah. I'm like, hold on. There wasn't even that much box art. I'm sitting there. What are people collecting for if they're not playing the games?
Right.
I'm like, it's a piece of plastic.
Yep.
I'm like, beyond that, like it's like these NFTs and stuff. I'm kind of lost. I'm like, don't get me wrong, Leo. Like I understand your thing. It's nostalgia and having the kind of look of it, and you're playing the games on the emulator. But like getting up there, some of these games were mass produced, and they're getting up there into like $200-$300 games.
Oh, that's insane. Yeah.
I was looking at just the box for $2,600, and somebody wanted like $150 for it. I was like, maybe not.
Yeah. And I think that was it too. When we were kids, we didn't care about the boxes, so we threw them out. And now it's like if you can find it in the box, score. Yeah, I just read something this morning actually. The video cassettes for the VCRs, if you have certain ones, those are going for hundreds of dollars. And I'm like, a VHS tape? I'm like, really? And they're like, yeah, people are buying that stuff now. And I'm like, I got a whole box full.
I remember unloading all of mine at the Jewett City Flea Market for like $2 a pop. It was just
Yeah. I don't even.
It's weird how these things come back, Yeah, just like Transformers is big now, It's like, yeah, everything comes around,
Oh, yeah.
It really does. Like even the '90s comics that were like over mass produced, and now some of them are going for premiums. I'm sitting there, I'm like, we had 1 million of those on the shelves. I'm like,
and they were sitting in a dollar box, forever.
Quarter boxes, some of them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, man. Back in the day, like when I first started reading comics, that's what I had. I started in Fantastic Four, and like the shop owner sat me down in front of a long box of Fantastic Four, old Fantastic Four. He's like, take what you want, quarter a piece. I was like, cool.
Yeah. Yep. I miss those days. Those were fun. 4 for $1 boxes were just those were great.
Yeah, now you only get to see those once in a great while on like sales day. They'll be like, hey, we're wiping out, and it's nothing but like
it's nothing good.
No. Sleepwalker number 9 mass,
right.
Like 1 billion of them, and you're like, no, don't need that one.
Yeah. I remember this was years ago now, I got the complete Red Sonja run,
Oh wow.
Eternals run, and Ms. Marvel for $4 for $1. I couldn't believe it. I mean, this was back in the 80s,
Yeah.
before anybody was really into them, and so I was like, oh, major score,
I'm telling you, I didn't think anybody was into the Internals, and then the
I
movie
know,
came out,
right?
and I'm like, what? What happened?
Now
I
all
was
of a
like, I
sudden,
know it's
yeah.
Kirby, but like,
Yep.
nobody.
I always liked it, but I was just like, oh, book
It
number
was
one,
definitely,
book number two. I'm like,
yeah.
for 25 cents? Okay.
Oh, I'm telling you, the Alpha Flights and everything like
Yeah.
that. I used to grab up score. I actually grabbed one Alpha Flight inside was signed by on the splash page. Oh man, I'm blanking on the name right now, but it was signed, and I had picked it up for $0.25. I was
Was
like, that.
it burned?
Yeah.
Okay.
And like, I'm just like, this is awesome. Like, it's somewhere in the boxes downstairs now, but like,
That's awesome.
you can't barely ever find those now.
No. And if you do, they want a lot for it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep. That's kind of the weird thing about going to these shows, and I'm going, I got those books. And I'm like, you want how much for it? I was like, really?
Oh, I'm gonna help Leo. He's got like 1 million of the X-Men
Yeah.
#1. I thought I had put one out, but the gatefolds are going for like $40 or something.
Are
like
they?
that.
Well,
Yeah, it's really
I got a few. Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
like I had
Wow.
1 million of those.
Yep.
I
Everybody
actually, when
did.
I was selling comics, I used to put them into like shipments for free. Be like, oh, I got like a whole set of them. Be like, here you go, get rid of them.
Yeah, for some reason I have 44 copies of X-Men #1.
Wow.
Yeah, somebody might have been a bit of a speculator back in the day.
Well, I was in high school. I thought, you know what, I'm going to be rich one day. You know,
Right.
I'm gonna retire.
I was
It's
working.
X-Men 1, baby. Come on.
It's the death of Superman. This is never gonna happen again.
The only one I could think of that probably is going to pay off is what was this? What's the first Carnage?
Oh, 361.
Yeah,
Amazing Spider-Man.
yeah, I have like 8 of those.
I love that whole story run. The Maximum Carnage,
Yeah.
and the video game was awesome too. And like, even that game, have you seen how much that goes for? That is
That's
ridiculous.
insane. Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of a cool game too. You could be like Venom or Spider-Man.
Yeah, actually, let me check the price right now. I know
So
it's really
we
off.
should get back to Power Kid Comics. 'cause
Absolutely,
we
sure.
are,
Not
like,
that I
going
don't
down a
mind talking
rabbit
comic
hole
books,
of-
though. Sure.
So, all right, how many different characters you got going
There's a
on?
lot of different kids in the books. They're mostly kids, so there's a
Are
bunch. He
you
has his
gonna
friends.
Are you gonna try to like bring in a core group?
There is. That's what the Power Pals
Okay,
is. Yeah. So each issue, I always have fun stories. Like there's one where they fight robots and aliens, demented veggies. I have a character called Dr. Broccoli, and he's
Why
so
is there
popular
never
that
a good vegetable. Never. a good
right there,
vegetable.
yep, you can see him, Dr. Broccoli and Sprout. That was his first appearance, and he's been in the books several times since then. Issue 324, he's on the cover. And he's back in the last issue, or the latest issue, which will be ready for Terrificon. And it's a fun story because you know how like a lot of kids don't like to eat veggies, and especially broccoli. I always did, but a lot of kids don't. And I was like, why? It would be so fun to have them, like the main bad guy, be a piece of broccoli. So he's on his quest of global domination, and basically at the end of the story, the kids eat broccoli. You know what I mean? So the only way to beat him is to eat him. So I always thought that was funny. And he has his sidekick Sprout, and there's other demented veggies right there. Yeah, Dr. Broccoli's back, and boys, he steamed. So I'm always having fun with it, and there's other characters in it too. I'd probably say there's maybe like 20-25 characters total in the book so far. I have plans for more. Each book it's pretty much its own tale, but like I said before, at the end of each book, the last few issues, it was building. So where you see now he's with the Power Pals. So because like I've always been a fan of the team book, so I just thought that would be fun for kids.
Do you have a anti-hero character?
Not for the Power Kids series right now. No.
See,
That's
Brussels
something I
sprout.
might
Yeah,
consider. You know, a lot of people like Venom and they like
that's what
Punisher
I'm
and stuff
thinking.
like that.
Like,
Yeah. So that might be something I might work in somewhere down the line.
it's always about the cheap, tactics.
Yep. But just right now, I'm just having some fun with it. Like I said, Dr. Broccoli's back in the next issue, which will be ready for Terrificon. So I have a lot of people asking about that. Whether I'll make a book on that character alone, which I'm considering. That's another one, Negative Nancy. That was a fun story I did. And what happened was I was printing something and I was scanning it in the scanner and it came out as a negative. And I was like, that looks so cool. So I came up with a character called Negative Nancy. And so she's a kind of a mean girl, you know, and whenever she gets mad, reality splits and it becomes a negative,
Oh, that's
just
kind of
like a
cool.
film. Right. So that's what that cover was right there. And I colored it the real way that I normally would. And then I just flipped it on the computer.
Oh, nice.
So that's the opposite. Yeah. And right there's Impossible Eagle and Muttley. Those are two of my dogs. They're caped canine crime fighters. And, you know, you can't go wrong there, right? So come on.
What type of you said you have some dogs? What types do you have?
Currently right now I have a Shar-Pei lab mix. So her name is Penny. When I got her as a puppy, she was all wrinkly. And it was the weirdest thing I'd ever seen. And then she grew up, so she has a lab body now, but she still has the head of a
Sharpie.
Shar-Pei. So she still has that wrinkle, that
Oh, that
one
must be
giant
so
one.
adorable.
But she's got a lap body. She's great. She's a great dog. And then my other dog is a beagle, of course. Yeah, I've always had those kind of dogs, so I love them. Yeah. So that's the logo there. You can see that one down there was my dog Bart. When I decided to start my business, I decided to use him as the logo.
Oh.
So you'll see that dog head on a lot of my comic books. And you know, just making fun characters. There's a girl character, Purple Pixie, and she's becoming popular. So there's a huge market now for comics for girls. So I'm thinking about making a book on that character too. You know, in my spare time, of course.
Oh, yes.
But I'm always
And how
making like
much
robots and dinosaurs and aliens, all that wacky fun stuff that we read as kids, you know.
now, if anybody's looking for these, of course, you're going to check the show notes up above or down below, as Leo would say.
Oh
Do
yeah.
you like I see they're about $5 a pop. Do you do a combination package for all of them together or
I
anything like
do.
that?
I have been known to offer the first 5 issues for the price of 4.
Nice.
And I also offer trade books. So volume 1 has the first 5 books in it, and that
Oh,
I have for $20. And then there's a volume 2 out, so it's the next 5 issues. So and it's the same price. So you're basically getting like if you buy both of them at the same time, you get like two books for free. I have been known to do that from time to time. Yeah. Most of my books are $5. 2 are 7 and 1 is 6.
how many pages?
It's a 24-page book.
Nice.
Cover
And
to
no
cover
ads,
to
right?
cover. No ads. There's only an
Look at that.
ad on the back cover. I use Kablam,
Oh, yeah.
and I've been using them forever. They're great, and obviously they give me a price break if I
Well, yeah.
put their ad on the cover. So I'm like, absolutely.
I mean, it's
But
back cover. Who?
I recommend them highly. I've been doing business with them for many, many years.
It seems to be working for you.
I'm doing pretty good, actually. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. Yeah. You know, it's a lot of work,
Well,
but I enjoy it, you know, and it's like I said, it's something I've always wanted to do. And if I can impart some knowledge and help younger kids draw, you know, they could be the next one too. You know, I always have kids coming up to my shows and they draw and stuff like that. And I said, hey, with a little practice and determination, you could be sitting here and you could be having a table with your own books, you know.
yeah.
So that's all it really takes, you know. It's just having the determination and just having to stick it out, you know, because it's not easy, you know.
Yeah, I read a thing today that said if you don't love the process, you're not
Right.
going to enjoy the results.
Exactly. I've had a lot of kids, you know, they get frustrated because they can't draw within a day or two. And I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
you know, it's going to take you a long time. I'm 53. I've been drawing since I was like 4 or 5, you know,
Yeah,
so it's
I've
like
been
it's going to
drawing
take a while. It's going to
forever and
take a
I
while.
still can't.
It's practice, man.
I got 4 little cartoony things. I can do a little dog thing, and I got
Yep.
this weird kind of like almost Bill Cosby thing that I draw, but now I can't draw him anymore. He's ruined everything. And let's see, a dolphin. I can draw a dolphin head.
Okay.
Those are my go-tos with the kids. I go, oh yeah, you guys want, like my daughter now is like wicked into art and stuff. She big into like drawing anime and stuff. Getting really good too. Like I'm quite impressed. But like when we first started, there's my dog. Look, 2 circles, and then draw a little connection.
Yeah.
And she's just like, oh yeah. And now, like, she follows these little like by step tutorials on YouTube. Like,
right. That's kind of funny because
Googles
when
and-
I go to the schools and I teach kids how to draw, that's what I teach them first. I teach them the shapes, and I was like, okay, with these shapes, you can draw anything. And then I show them with this shape and this shape, you can draw a car, you can draw a house, you can draw people. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Once you master the basics, then everything else just falls into line. You know, and it's just practice. You know, it's just practice and just determination. And that's another dog character of mine, Fred.
I
the
like that
Destroyer.
cover a lot, actually. That looks
Thank
really
you.
cool. The sword and everything.
Many years ago, I rescued a dog, and he was really messed up, and more than I realized. And he was such a destroyer. He already came with the name Fred, so I decided to turn him into a character. So he's kind of like a barbarian, kind of. You know, he's got the sword that I call Dragon Bone. You can see the little bone on there. So he's kind of like a barbarian kind of character, and I always thought that'd be funny. And I like the cover a lot because, you know, it's got the ripped up suit of Power Kid and stuff on there, you know. But that was another dog that I've had, and he's another character in the books from time to time.
Are you big into rescues?
I have rescued quite a few dogs, yes. Yeah. In fact, my last couple dogs I've had, they've all been rescues.
Good job, man.
Yeah, yeah, you know. If it isn't me, then you know who, right?
Yep.
You know, so yeah. But no, always had 2 or 3 dogs at any given time. Lately it's been 2, but you know, 3 is a lot.
Yeah, it is. Especially if they're young.
Especially when you go to the vet.
Oh my god.
And the food, yikes.
Yeah. Yeah. I got one now that like may be allergic to like all the food that I give him, so he may need to be eating only venison. I'm like, are you serious? My dog's gonna be eating venison? Like, damn, he's lucky I like him.
Yeah, probably about 15 years back, we had 3 dogs, and the place we were renting only allowed 2. And but 2 of them looked just alike.
Oh, that's funny.
So we made sure to only take out 2 at once. You know?
Nice.
Yeah, it never caught on.
That's good.
That's fantastic.
Awesome.
So you said you do this, you know, on the side. What's your profession?
My day job, I'm a letter carrier for the post office.
Nice.
Awesome.
Mystic. Yeah, Mystic.
Dude,
This will be my 30th year doing this job. Actually, I can retire in 3.5 years.
Good for you, man.
Very good.
And then I'm gonna fall back on this.
I've been trying to encourage my son. He doesn't know where to go in life right now. He's 19, and he kind of is taking a break from college and just finding himself. You know, he's got a little side hustle at a job and stuff, but it's a dead end job. Nothing's ever really going to become of it. And I'm just like, the USPS place is hiring in the area. And
We
I'm
are,
like,
yeah.
dude,
Like we can't, like a lot of us older guys, you know, we're getting ready to leave soon, so
Yeah.
we need a lot of newer people coming in, and it's
I
really
told
difficult
him,
because
I'm like,
a lot of people think it's easy, and it's not. It's
No,
it's a tough job, and you got to work
you
every
start off,
day. The weather.
yeah, you start off down in the shit and you work
Yeah,
your way up
exactly. I
to
started
being
down at the
more
bottom.
shit.
Yep. This will be my
But
30th year, and it's
but
funny
you,
because
it's a
I fell
government
into this
job.
job by
Pension.
accident. Actually, when I graduated, I tried to get a job. Marvel wouldn't give me the time of day, And DC, I did a brief tour there, and they gave me some pages to color, which I did, and I thought they came out awesome. And I was kind of like, hey, I really need a job like yesterday, you know what I mean? So if I start at the bottom, that's fine, as long as I get up, as long as I get in.
I'll be wherever.
And it didn't work out on their end, they just kind of dropped the ball on it. So I fell into the Postal Service because I needed a job, and been doing it ever since. But that allows me to do my artwork, so I've been doing that steadily
I've told
for many years.
It's a great job. I screwed up because I never filled out. I was dumb and never filled out my draft stuff, and nobody ever told me I was supposed to.
Yeah, by law, you got to do it when you're 18.
Yeah, until you're 26. That's when you have until, and I never did. I was I had a pretty fucked up upbringing and stuff, and a bunch of stuff went on in my life.
Yeah,
but I never did, and
they used to teach that in school. I guess they don't do that now, but they would always say at school you have to do that. Yeah. So I mean, it's a job. I've been doing it for a long time, but definitely, anybody who's younger who wants, to have a career, if you don't mind working outside and working in all kinds of weather,
it's a great path to go. It's a great way to stay healthy too.
Oh yeah. I've had people ask me. I have my own route downtown Mystic, and I have a lot of people ask me all the time. I'm like, so do you walk like 1 or 2? And I'm like, I walk 9 miles a day. They're like, get out of here. I'm like, yeah, I swear. I borrowed a little, like one of those little Fitbits from my wife, and she was curious. And I said, I don't know. I probably walk maybe 4 miles a day. I walk 9.
Nice.
It's crazy. Yeah. And there's days that are nice days, and like today was a nice day. You get some nice days, and then you get some days that really suck. The blizzards and the rainstorms and stuff like that. But it is what it is. So yeah, I do that during the day, and then I do my artwork at night or on the weekends, my day off.
That's awesome. And obviously you have a very supportive wife.
I do. She supports me a lot. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I support her too, so yeah.
It's definitely about.
She works for Pfizer, so
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have a friend that works for Pfizer as well. That's definitely a great company, from what I've heard, anyway.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So but like I said, just making comics is fun. It's a passion, and you just have to actually want it.
Well, you're certainly working hard for it, and
doing my best. Thank you.
Absolutely love your artwork. It's so fun, and
thank you. And if you look at the next couple books, I started retooling like that one. So I started, like, you can see the bar up on top, like the old comics when we were kids from Marvel. I always liked that little box on the top, so I started rebranding, and I'm kind of like doing, I don't want to say a cover swipe, but it's kind of like a cover homage. So that's actually a cover homage to Brave and the Bold 28.
Yeah.
Instead of Starro, I have my character Repulso. So that was fun. And that was the big issue where you find out, like I said before, who actually joins the team. So, it's always fun. And then the next issue,
way to go.
Then the next issue, I always thought that was cool too. That's a cover swipe of Fantastic Four 249.
Oh.
With Gladiator.
Yeah. No, that's really cool.
So I had this character in my head a long time called X, or Kid X, which is the character there. So I always wanted to have him. And so, like, he's incredibly strong and stuff like that. So I always thought that'd be fun to have him messing with the pals. And I have another one coming up too. It's going to be coming out. If you swing by my table, which I hope you will, at Terrificon, you'll see it's a cover swipe of Superman Spectacular from 1977 with Brainiac and Luthor on the cover. That was always one of my favorites as a kid. So I did one of that with the Dr. Broccoli character. So hopefully that's ready on time. I'm waiting for the printer.
Well, we'll have to make sure we stop by. And just a reminder, everybody, you're going to be at Wickford Art Festival, July 9th through 10th. Terrificon, July 29th through the 31st. Crazy, it's coming up that fast. And you're going to
It's hard
be here before you know it.
Yeah. You're going to be at Mystic Outdoor Art Festival August 13th through the 14th, which is a lot of fun. And New
Back to
England.
Mohegan Sun.
And then back to Mohegan, yep. And that's a big show. That's like a 3-day Christmas show. So that's
Do
like
they deck it all out?
They do a little bit, and what's kind of cool is that when we have our spaces, they want us to deck it out. So like I have Christmas lights up and all that stuff. So it's fun.
Might actually go check out that show. That
It was
sounds like
pretty
fun
wild.
For the
I didn't know
kids.
what to expect, Didn't know what to expect because I've never done a show like that before. But they have a lot of crafters and stuff, folks, like I said, that make their own stuff, make their own clothing, or, make their own food products that you buy at that time. And when they saw my own comic books, they were like, hey, this would be really cool. So, yeah. So if you come by, I have my tent with my tent space, it's a booth space, but I have walls too. So I put my artwork on the walls and then I light it up with Christmas lights. So it's pretty cool. Wow. It's always fun. Yeah.
And, only 5 months away till Christmas time.
I know.
Hey,
isn't
shut
that
up,
crazy?
Leo.
I know. I don't want to talk about it either.
I do. I always get in trouble. I actually was sharing the NORAD tracker back in March. Like there's only 349 days to go.
Yep.
Are you guys ready
yet?
yet?
Look that up on your phone too, and it'll like the week before it'll say where he is at that time. Yeah, it's crazy.
I love it.
Yep.
I'm a huge I guess most geeks and dorks are just love Christmas time. Christmas time is just it really takes me back to my childhood. I don't know. Those were the best times of my childhood. So
if you're a kid, it's just complete magic. Yeah. Yep.
Awesome.
I agree.
Well, we have Brett. We have all your information shown us up above or down below, depending on where we're watching or listening to us. And we didn't make it clear earlier. Where can people buy your books right now?
Well, you can come to the shows. You can always see me, or you can get in touch with me via my contacts, either email or texting, or my website. And you just get in touch with me, and I will hook you up.
Very cool.
I don't really have anything in the bookstores at this time. I did a few years ago, but I just pretty much do it myself, and I go to the shows because I like meeting the fans.
To keep it on the shelves, anyways.
Well, plus there's so many books out there now, that I kind of don't want mine to get lost.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But I do enjoy the shows. I do enjoy meeting the fans, so that's always fun. And so that's pretty much the best way to do it. But you can always contact me directly, and I'll get you what you want.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, I want to thank everybody for watching this fine evening. Definitely check the show notes up above or down below, depending on where you're watching or listening to us. For me, just Google Leo Pond. You find a bunch of stuff. Could be true, could be not. I'm not going to say which is which, but I run a little thing called the Dorkening Podcast Network. We got about 40 shows on a network. There's a ton of awesome people doing a ton of awesome stuff. So we'll head on over to thedorkening.com, which you can find all the latest episodes of all the shows right there. And Brett, where do you like people interacting with you on social media?
You can contact me pretty much through Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And, like I said, we got all that information shown us up above or down below. Jar Jar.
Check out Comic Book Lovers Buy, Sell, Trade, and Auction on Facebook, and say hello to me at Jeremy Courtney on Facebook. And if you want to on Instagram as well. I haven't posted there in forever though, but who knows, I might someday.
Well, you can post on Facebook and then I'll have it automatically post to
as soon as the ink is dry on that thing,
okay,
I will be posting probably a lot more frequently. I'm very wary. I should not get into this right now. Hello, welcome to Jeremy's Problems on Creator Spotlight.
I know what you're talking about. With that, we'll catch you guys later. Bye.
Awesome, guys. Thank you.
See you.
Thank you, Brett.